You know, when I first met our organization's founder, Niggas Food, we were both canvassing, looking for a serial rapist, right, who was attacking young couples, who was attacking elderly women. So nobody paid us to come out and do that. Nobody made us and said, hey, you know, you gotta come out, you need to do this. We all just stood up and took action. My name is Minister Freedom Allah. I serve as one of the program directors and CVI supervisors for Detroit People's Community, also known as the People's Action. The People's Action was founded to be a voice and be the action of the people in our community. When I first met our organization's founder, Niggas Food, we were both canvassing, looking for a serial rapist, right, who was attacking young couples, who was attacking elderly women. Nobody paid us to come out and do that. Nobody made us come out, you need to do this. We all just stood up and took action.
The reason why we're having this event, we got inspired by a 13-year-old boy who got shot recently, was last week, actually, right across from one of our sites. So anybody don't know, we the People's Action, we do a lot of community work, specifically community violence intervention, which is where we build relationships with kids who may be challenged or who have a high propensity to commit violence in the community.
Originally, for one of his biggest focus has always been political organizing, around us organizing community, organizing around people and initiatives who supported us as a community. I think that's what our organization embodies, is about taking action. That's what I think programs like that Adopt the Block is all about, that we wanted to decide that we were gonna go clean up community, that we were gonna go feed people, that we were gonna go to your door whether you were looking for resources or support or not.
We can see the day when this city has fewer than 100 homicides. But we have got to have the CVI folks on the grounds in the neighborhoods.
I'm the Chief Operations Officer of the People's Action. We're a grassroots 501c3 based in the city of Detroit. Right now, we have a community violence intervention program that spans from 8 Mile to Curtis to Hubbleberg Road, and we have a multifaceted approach to impacting gun violence in that community. First, starting with direct participant referrals. We work with some of the highest risk individuals who either commit or are victims of violent crimes.
Before we were engaged fully in what we call CVI, our organization had already been entrenched in the 7 Mile of Greenfield community. And having that community piece, having those existing community partnerships gave us kind of a level of comfort coming into the community and being able to support them both ways. So our framework as an organization isn't just violence and fatal and non-fatal shooting focused, it's also community focused.
Yo, peace, family. Yo, this is Minister Freedom, man, with the People's Action, broadcasted live, man, from 7 Mile and Greenfield. We out here right in the community, out here doing the work. This is what the work is all about, man. Coming to the community as the community. And through beautification, we can change the mindset. We can change the culture. The reason our people is doing violence, the reason our people is destroying their communities, tossing their trash aside, is they're suffering from the mental illnesses that come through living in destructive and tore up communities. So let's change the narrative.
One of the programs that our organization does is what's called Adopt the Block. We've been doing this program a little over 5 or 6 years. Since we've been engaged in the CVI program, we've reshaping that format to targeting the areas who are most impacted by violence within our target area. We'll pick a particular couple blocks, clean up all the trash, right? Bring out volunteers. We identify homes with elderly community members and single mothers, cut their grass. The other piece of this program, we feed everybody, right? So we feed hundreds of community members as a part of this initiative. So all these things are happening simultaneously.
And this is going to be our first summer of Adopt the Block with a matriculated fellowship group, right? And I'm really excited to see them come out on their own volition, right? They're no longer in the fellowship program, but they want to continue to come out and support. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to offer more employment opportunities to them. I'm excited to see them incorporated into the core group. We get a lot of feedback at our town hall meetings. And when we first started doing this, I was a bit concerned that community members would not see the value and really interacting, embracing, and wrapping around these individuals, because a lot of times the community members have either been a victim of some sort of crime or they've witnessed some sort of crime, and there's some trauma there, right? There's trauma within the participants' lives, there's trauma within the community members' lives, and how do we really bridge that gap so that there's an understanding? But what I found when we were interacting with folks at these town halls is that they were ready to embrace them, and they were looking for people who were ready to embrace them.
This is our future, and this is what we work hard for, so can we give them a round of applause?
One of our big focuses as a part of our CVI program is our work in what we call behavior modification. A big part of our community violence intervention mindset and strategy is a preventative one. We feel like that you stand a better chance preventing violence from happening if you can engage a person, figure out what their needs are, what is it that we can help develop about that individual to then push them for change. We engage several of what we call high-risk participants, who are individuals who are highly impacted by violence, whether that's their affiliation with gangs, their affiliation with gun violence, they're either a victim of gun violence or a previous perpetrator of gun violence. What we do, we take 10 of them, particular our participants under 18, and engage them in a high intense 20-week mentor program. We're currently in our second cohort of this program. We came up with this entire curriculum of different topics that we felt like these high-risk and at-risk individuals who are right on the cusp of violence could use and benefit from to ultimately transform their behavior to prevent violence from happening.
Especially we're dealing with primarily young men and young adults who don't always feel like they have somebody that they can reach out to, even when they say, like kids say, crash out, I'm about to crash out, right? Who do you reach out to really talk that through? We do have qualitative narratives from our participants who openly say, I was going to seek out to harm somebody, and I spoke with my mentor, I spoke with my outreach worker. Instead of acting, I reached out to somebody within the organization first to help me navigate this situation, because they've built that relationship with that worker, they trust them, they understand that they have their best interests in hand. And for us, those are major successes in our program.
I'm Arted. This is the fellowship program, 20-week program for high-risk youth like me. And they teach you a lot in here. I ain't gonna lie, you can learn a lot about in here. You can start a business. It teach you street smart, a lot for real. You can tap in with us for real.
All right, my name is Anthony. They be teaching us in here. It's really like I take it. Like, I ain't no regular kid that's out here just for the money. I'm here just to take it up here and use it.
They're happy that people care. Surprisingly, despite the kind of popular belief that the young people don't want to listen, or you can't tell them anything, or, you know, they're so wild, they're so unruly, how do you even get them to listen? When you be surprised when a lot of these individuals that we serve, they've never been presented with a lot of these topics. They've never been exposed to some of these conversations. So the majority of them, I would say all of them, are happy to even be included or happy to be exposed to the information at all.
At the end of the day, we're all neighbors, right? We all have to live here in this community, and we all have to organize together to really leverage our resources and gain power within our communities.
I was here in the beginning when people said that wouldn't work. That if you gave these community organizations who are in the community, you gave them funding and resources, they wouldn't be able to do anything on crime. And we've been able to overcome and show people that if you continue to invest in the people in the community that will overcome, that they'll continue to overcome and defy odds. And I think that's what brings us to where we are now, where crime is at a historic low.
Let me show you what the city of Detroit's going to do with our money. We are going to expand those green zones to every single area of the city that still has violence. Can you imagine what happens if every place we have disputes, we have the trusted people in the community talking? What could we do?